Yesterday we had a very good example of top management behavior, of leadership behavior. A new board member is assigned to an industrial company. The first thing what he does is starting with a board workshop, strategic workshop, organizational workshop, development workshop, where he sets the goals together with the colleagues, makes status analysis where the organization is, and defines the key performance measures, KPIs, in order to measure this change, this reorganization and this organizational improvement, and uses by doing this the concept of lean management, lean organization, lean production. So it was very interesting to listen to the 30 leaders who were talking before he showed up yesterday about him, that he came just 1 minute introduction and they immediately started to work with them and said, come on, let's go for it, let's change it, just do it, so to say. So he brought in new energy, he energized with his attitude, with his behavior, the total organization, the leaders, and they really started to organize new projects, organizational development projects, efficiency projects, and process improvement projects, and agreed that they would meet monthly, on a monthly basis in the organization with the leaders, with experts. They created so-called OBEA rooms, you can also call them war rooms if you want to, where you have the data, the material, where the organization is, where the processes are, where the projects, the lean organization, lean production projects are. And what he also did is immediately to working with the leaders, with the experts on value stream, with the value stream mapping methodology to really map the processes, the inputs of the process, the different instruments, the backlog, the difficulties, the problems in the process, by discussing and especially by visualizing these issues. So he brought in a new method, a new energy. He also talks about, like yesterday, about leadership, what he expects from leaders, that he says everything is leadership or nothing. So he speaks, of course, to leaders and wants to make clear what their role in this change and improvement process of an organization is. So he is a really implementer. He also goes to the sites in the world and works one-on-one also with the site manager and makes pressure that the site managers have to come up with their KPIs, with their key performance indicators, with their planning, so to say, and then that they really have to visualize the situation. So it's a very strong controlling measurement as well, so that they know where are we. Without data you can't follow this change process, this improvement process. So it's from the socio-technical side of the enterprise, of course, a lot of concentration on the technical subsystem, but on the same side, by working like this, he works on the social subsystem as well, in terms of leadership, in terms of commitment, in terms of awareness of the situation, in terms of awareness of the role, the importance of the leadership role. Coming as a board member for technology, R&D and production, he is of course responsible for all the factories in the world. So he brings awareness also to this dynamics of where are we, and tries to balance these factories. And he says it has to be balanced globally. He works very closely with his HR boss, global head of HR. So side by side, they are going through the sites, facilitating also the processes. What he brings coming from headquarters is management attention. So there is no big preparation that he will join up, because he is regularly coming. He's every 4 weeks he is there and he works. And then he also involves other leaders from headquarters, from central functions, from central R&D functions, from central production functions, technology functions, innovation functions, so that they are supporting the sites who are in difficult situations in order to bring them up again. It was very interesting when we involved him and the HR boss in our evaluation of a leadership and organizational program of 2 years. He came to the presentation and I presented briefly the targets, the architecture, and then the HR boss of the location of the site and the program director of this leadership and organizational development program, together with the site manager, with the board member of the site. They presented the evaluation where we were 2 years ago, where we are now. And he also could see the green cards on the one side, the red cards on the other side. So what we reached, what we learned, the green cards, and what was still open, what we couldn't reach, what we are sorrow. The HR director, the global head, responded to our evaluation and encouraged to go on, and that he is very happy that this program could have been run in these modules, and very committed, although there was a valley of tears, but still we went on and then came up out of this. Then at the end, the new board member asked if he also should react, and we were of course very keen to listen to his reaction, and he reacted, and it was very interesting when he talked. He brought his leadership principle, as I said, that everything is about leadership on the one hand. The involvement of the associates and employees, of course, is extremely important, that they are able, the leaders, to take them with them, because now they are qualified and trained, etc. But what about the employees that now, and this is a very critical task. And the second thing what he said is, looking to all the cards, he said the green cards are okay, this is very good. But for me, as the board member for technology, etc., it's much more interesting the red cards. Although we were before and a little bit afraid, all the red cards, open issues, etc., a lot of issues from the factory, that he reacted in that way, that he said, this is important and you have to focus on this, although you have to maintain the other ones, that there is a sustainable growth and improvement, and that you can keep these learnings and transfer it to the organization, to your people, etc. But still, the red cards, there is really potential, and this is much more important for him. He also said that teamwork, which he realized by joining the organization, by looking to these two groups of leaders who went through this 2 years organizational development and leadership program, he was impressed by the team effectiveness, this team and the team spirit, this team created over time. And he said teamwork is number one in what we do in improving, and but you have this also in comparison with other companies, so be proud of this and keep it. By referring to the open issues, open cards, and the aspects which has to be improved still, he said it is important that you see the whole factory, the whole company, and with my technology, he said, I will help you, and he means the lean organization, lean production, lean methodology, to improve this and to help you to bring this organization up with your people. I will help you. So he brings his attention, his presence, his resources with all the functions he is able to bring in. So he is not just staying aside, coming and taking the results, so to say, but also working with them. This shows alone his leadership style, which is interesting. He was impressed that, as he said, that we came up with the awareness, although it sounds basic, but still it's key, that we came up with the awareness that everything is about leadership, and that he's extremely happy about this, that the colleagues came up with this philosophy or with this awareness. He also says that the total team is the whole company, not only this factory, that the other factories, that they all belong together with the headquarters, and that this is important, that they improve together and that they help each other. So he brings in the cooperation philosophy, to help each other, the philosophy of seeing the total company and not only the sub unit of a factory or of a department. And only by thinking and acting like this, that we can work and win this battle in the competitive area. And this is competitive advantage, to really better than the competitors, of course, and to be specific. And this cooperation and this support of each other is one key aspect, key element of getting this competitive advantage in the field. Then he talks about his lean management, lean production, lean organization concept by saying that the time you can win with optimizing in terms of lean management, lean organization, you can use for your learning. So the learning has to continue, but we have also to create capacity for this as well. He says if you do things lean all the week, if you work on this 4 days, 5 days, these lean workshops, then you have to do something differently on Monday immediately. So you don't have to wait. Lean means also in terms of time, to really fast and quick. And if you run this lean workshops every month for 1 year, for a period of 1 year, then it is a way of managing, he says. It's part of the culture. It will become part of culture. The management job is to improve. The rest is not important, he says, to improve. You have to work in multidisciplinary work processes and multidisciplinary organized way, but in an organized way. You have to work in multidisciplinary teams, but in an organized way, he says. The day has 24 hours, so they are working in different shifts, and we have to utilize this capacity, these resources with our people in the best way. At one point, you can also saw a bit of his leadership philosophy by thanking not only us as the program managers of this organizational development and leadership program, or the HR boss who also was in the leadership team and the site manager, but he thanks to all the members of this program. One of the members of the second group, of the second level group, asked him how he sees the organization now, the site, which is in the focus here. He doesn't immediately answer. He asked the site manager and the HR manager, and as well as 2 other top managers on the site, what they think, he thinks about the site. So then he really stands there and the other ones answers in front of him, and then he says, approves this and says, thank you, I seem to have done a good job in that part, to really communicate with them how I see it, how I want to have it, etc. So he tests his way of communication information by asking the colleagues, what came to you, what did you understand, etc., about what I said, about my evaluation, etc. There's also a piece of learning in this field and piece of leadership principle and philosophy. He also challenged us and asked, did you involve people from the shop floor, or did you just work on the leadership level? So this is a very interesting, challenging issue and philosophy of him, involving others from the shop floor, from the production processes, from the machine. He says that I'm hating the word project. Let's talk about transformation. Again, you can see his activity-based, his change-based, his implementation-based philosophy of transforming, not waiting, not running meetings, etc., but doing, but changing, but really achieving the goals, the targets, and seeing the results. We are not married to the customer, he says. So it is not easy to really keep the customer with us. We have to. And it's not a marriage, it's a very close relationship, but they can split up whenever they want. They can go to other competitors of us. He is very easygoing, without tie, very hands-on, but on the spot and on the point. He stands, he doesn't want to sit, and talks to the colleagues. And with a competitive advantage, we have to grow, we have to be different, we have to offer something different to our customer in order to be successful. So this was a bit of leadership example, ending an organizational development and leadership program, transferring it to a new program of lean organization, lean production. And I personally will be there every month and will consult and will coach this organization and their leaders and their teams as well. And if needed, we will work on specific project issues, for example, project management, key project management, leading projects interculturally, etc., or how to develop the teams on the shop floor with the leaders, and how to support this lean organization initiative in order to really make the company more successful.